Shy and Zoolander take one. Action.
All right, thank you very much. Yo, what do they call me? They call me Devin Zoolander. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Yeah, they call me Devin Zoolander. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I look good on camera. You know I look good on camera. Now let me just do something real quick before we get started because I need to feel myself like Tweet or whatever Jay-Z said back in the day when he was freestyling. I think he was rapping over something with with Missy, and I think he said something like that. People was like, "What's wrong with you, Hov?" He was like, "Nothing. Leave me alone." Okay, so here we go right here. Okay, here we go. Turn that down a little bit. Okay. Yo, what's up? It's your homie, Devin Zoolander, coming all the way live from my domicile. And today I'm in a very good mood because something that I thought was not going to happen is actually happening right now. See, there is this woman that I've been attracted to in a myriad of ways since I first met her, probably back in 2009. I think she worked for Rise back at Pitt when she was studying, and it was cool. And then there might have been a football player, but I ignored and I just rooted for him, and I hope that he makes the Hall of Fame. And we represent in Quip Town. Actually, I come from the downtown of Philadelphia, and the person sitting to my right now is as beautiful on the inside as she is on the out. And I gotta say, when I first met her, it was more like, okay, we got light skin, biracial, maybe the hair is straight. But then somehow there was an awakening that changed into her just being like, let me change my hair up. You know what I'm saying? Let me get locked up, but not locked up like incarcerated, but locked up like look at my hair and look at all the stuff that has manifested. You know what I'm saying? It looks like a nest, but it's like golden and beautiful, and I feel that. So, and this is what happens when you get a bootleg beat. It's like, okay, get back to the regular rhythm. But yeah, someone that is an advocate for our community, for our people, for our children in our schools, someone coming all the way live from DC, please put your hands together for the one and only Kristen Shimoniak. I wanted to call you Christina so bad, but I was like, wait a minute, I know you feel like right. But nah, we call it Shy. So how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm so happy that you're here. This is just like a wonderful occasion. I feel blessed. I feel refreshed, and
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Now, let's enough with that. So, first of all, what brings you to Pittsburgh this weekend?
A celebration of love. I came up for a wedding. Shout out to Yaz and Lee for getting married yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a grand time. Got to see my family, got to see my best friend and some loved ones. So got to get back on the road now after I leave you.
Yeah, I know. That's a road, but you gonna handle it. I mean, now let me ask you: when you go on your road trips, how do you prepare yourself to go on those trips?
You mean like what, packing and things, or just like for the trip?
I mean for the trip, because beforehand it's like, all right, I gotta pack this, I gotta make sure I got toothpaste, but
Oh yeah, no. So once I get in the car, everybody knows, do not call me. I am not a car talker on a road trip.
Okay.
That is my time to vibe out to my jams.
Got you.
So I usually curate either a playlist or I just have some albums I know I want to listen to as I drive.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, driving up here, I was listening to CLB.
Mm-hmm.
Going back, I'm not sure if I want to do some old Kendrick, or I think I'm gonna start with some Lauren and then work my way to more rap.
Right. Now that's interesting to me that you say you're not a car. That's interesting to me that you say you're not a car talker, because I don't feel like I am either until I get on a road trip, because I might actually be the opposite of you, where it's like, I really don't want to talk to y'all during the week. But now that I'm here and I'm on here, especially if it's a friend I haven't talked to, then, it's like, wow, I get to talk to my brother for a little bit, or I get to talk to like my friends. So for me, because I think my experience as an Uber driver is that I'm always in the car.
Yeah.
So when you're always in the car, yeah, I want to listen to Certified Lover Boy. I want to listen to Donda, or I want to listen to the Off Season or King's Disease 2, whatever it is.
I listen to Off Season 2 coming up, by the way. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, right. That way, yeah, that's a really good project, and I mean, well, we'll get on the music takes in a second, but yeah, for me, I would just say that sometimes I appreciate the calls because to me, if my ears are trained for music, maybe a podcast, then I, especially if it's a long drive, because I recently drove to Charlotte, and that was the
Mm-hmm.
longest I've ever driven by myself, and it's kind of like I need something like to kind of interrupt that a little bit. But I think for you, since you've done here and back to DC so many times, what is it, like 4 hours?
Yeah. On a rougher day. It could take me 3.5
Okay. Oh yeah,
to get
yeah.
there. But yeah.
Yeah. Three and a half is different. You can bring that closer if you need. Oh, I think
I'm,
you.
I'm good.
Yeah, you good. Right.
It's gonna be like
Yeah, you don't want to be like that because let's just say one person they got a little bit too close and I was being nice and everything, but then when I was looking at the still shot, I was like, I don't know if
oh.
this is really the image that we want to put out there because
Yeah, I don't want that.
while we are being progressive and we're supporting all of the content creators that are fancying themselves and creating their content on sites like OnlyFans and something I recently found out about loyal fans,
What's loyal fans?
I guess it's kind of like it serves a similar purpose of OnlyFans, but I guess it's just an alternative way for people to go that don't want to be shackled by. Is OnlyFans going to be around, or are they going to take it away?
Oh,
So I guess it's just an alternative.
Okay.
Yeah,
Learn something every day.
yeah. Somebody told me about it.
Oh, so
I
you're
don't.
not
Right. I
you
don't.
don't subscribe.
Right. I don't just have that institutional knowledge. Like somebody told me. Like it wasn't like, man, I wonder what's up on these streets right now.
Yeah, let me do some research.
Hey, girl. I see you. You looking good. And then what's messed up with those whole conversations? It'd be like, is this for me?
No.
It is always for you. It's been about you for the longest. Wow, I feel special. Until you realize you talk to your homie. It's like, did she do this too?
Everybody gets it.
I know. I learned that from the strip club too. It's just like, wow, that lap dance, you put your soul into it. It's gotta be love, right? You want to get brunch? No, dog. It was all about the fantasy. Now give me your $20 and shut the
Right.
hell up.
Right. Yeah, you're not special. Sorry.
Anyway,
How do
I,
we
s-
even get on there?
I don't know, but I see that our I think it all started with camera angles, how you look when you're too close to a microphone.
Yes.
Right, innuendos and things like that. So I think that's how we got there. But I'm glad we found our way back.
But I've heard a lot lately, a lot from guys when they go on road trips. They use that as their time to talk to the people that they haven't talked to in a while. And for me, I just can't. I'm an introvert, so talking to people wears me out. So if you want me worn out on a long drive, you want me to die.
Right.
So I choose to get energized with my solitude.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with how communicative are you with the people, your loved ones during the week. And also, I think it has to do with how much, even though people can say things like, I enjoy my solitude, I enjoy just, being a homebody and being on my own. When I hear that, as somebody that's always on my own, I feel like I'm not necessarily doing this because it's by choice. Like I want it to be this way because I like it's funny because I can be. I'm like I guess I'm an extroverted introvert. I'm not sure.
Ambivert.
Yeah, ambivert. Yeah, something like that. I think I'm like that because it's almost like if I'm the show, I don't mind being on stage. But then there's a point where it's kind of like just being around people. Sometimes I think I don't know if I mean I haven't been to a therapy session or something to see if it's like a social anxiety thing, but I think there are times, especially in Pittsburgh, where I've been here 12 years. I know that my time here is coming to an end. I know that my focus needs to be more on where is the next destination. It just feels like now bumping into some of the same people all the time, people that I might have unfollowed, and now I'm seeing them in real life, and it's like I unfollowed you for a reason. So I think to bring it back to you, I think not trying to generalize, but from listening to you and how it is for you on road trips versus how it might be for a guy, I think maybe some guys feel more vulnerable and it starts to hit them like I'm really here by myself because guys, I was reading a book and it was talking about how when you look at the homeless population, guys are overly represented in it because by and large, guys aren't always the best at saying I need help
Yeah.
and reaching out to their network. So maybe something as like small as a road trip might trigger something within a guy where he's like, yo, I need to start connecting. Hey, mom, dad. Oh, yeah, I have a brother. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh, yeah, the woman I used to talk to, and we don't date anymore, but we're still cool. Like, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think, also because I think guys can be, not always, but they can be like poor planners and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easier for women a lot of times to be. It's like y'all are.
We're more connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We are. We're more connected. Even I was having a conversation, and tell me what you think. Actually, so I have a great group of friends. But we all merged after a 4th of July cookout. We didn't know each other at the cookout, but
Yeah.
we had one mutual friend that connected all of us, and we instantly hit it off, and we're like, when are we seeing each other again? Are you free tomorrow? Let's do it. And we've been inseparable ever since.
Mm-hmm.
But I was telling a story to a guy, and he's like, yeah, I could never do that.
Yeah, we don't do that. I mean, women go to the bathroom together. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Women do a lot of stuff where it's like, wow, like I can't believe we haven't, it's like living single. Whereas with guys, I think because they're, when you start talking about masculinity or the way we've been conditioned to view it, when you talk about vulnerability and our discomfort with being vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes letting people in, especially guys, like we've been taught the wrong thing so long
Yeah.
that even getting a guy's number and saying like, yo, you're cool, like we should hang out again, it might feel like we're doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that, yeah, in this progressive world that we're living in today, we can be like, yeah, y'all need to fix that, y'all need to get rid of that. But you also have to understand, like, the saying Rome wasn't built in a day, or or I think it was Frederick Douglass or whoever had the quote about it's harder to repair broken, or it's easier to something children. I'm messing this up. It's like it's harder to basically repair broken men or something like that, or teach a dog, an old dog, new tricks. Like even I'll just say this thing, not to be controversial, but I think it's still, I'm getting better at it. But even recognizing being in spaces where people are asking you what are your preferred pronouns when you didn't really grow up thinking about that.
It's not your norm. Yeah. Yeah, but I get that, and I understand that how men, especially black males, are groomed, right? Because I feel like white men do that. I think they connect after meeting somebody that they think are cool. But I think in the black culture, yeah, men were groomed differently. But my question is, you identified that was the reason. That's the reason that's hindering you from building these relationships so instantly. So you know that that's the issue now. So why don't you make a baby step? So I was telling the dude the same thing. I'm like, so why don't you challenge yourself? You meet somebody that's, y'all are dope. That could be a really good friend of yours. Why can't you just take that step of courage and be like, you know what? This right here was dope, dude.
Yeah.
We got to do this again sometime. Might not be tomorrow, but can we connect so that we can do this again? Because this was a good vibe.
You know why? Because, okay, this is going to be a tough analogy, but I'm going to try and make it fit to answer your question. So it's kind of like how people that, let's say they go to college and they have to read all these heavy textbooks, and then you ask them after they've gotten through a grueling degree program to read for pleasure. It feels like for us, the only time I want to read now is when it's business related. So to bring it back to guys, I think where some guys might struggle with it is that, like, hey brother, come on my podcast, or hey, we can work together like that.
Preparing it with business.
But if it can ever venture over into like, hey man, I need emotional support, I feel like that's something where we should be able to have that kind of intimacy that is not connected with sexuality with men, with other men. But I feel like even the way we do things is like we always have to have a disclaimer. We always have to be able to rationalize the relationship that's more than just like, no, he's just my friend and we support each other. And that's what's hard for guys, I think, to do. So hopefully we can start to do the work and get there one day.
And we are. I feel like as a community we are. And this might just be biased, me being a woman, but I feel like, women, black women in our culture, we set the tone for things, right? We are, as women, collectively, we're seeking therapy more. independently. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like as we heal, that healing will transcend and trickle down to y'all.
Yeah.
And as you see, more and more men are talking about healing, more and more men are talking about therapy and kind of deviating against those generational curses that have been, brought to our community.
I think, and I agree with you. I think for black men specifically, I think what we have to do is we have to find the benefit that is truly meant for us within going to things like therapy or doing some work and trying to work through childhood traumas, because I think what happens is, like, take working out at the gym. If my goal for working out is to look better for women, if my goal for working out is to make myself look better so that I can become an actor, if everything I'm doing this for is superficial, then at some point it's going to fizzle out.
Yeah.
But if I'm working out for me, then it's like, you know what, when I don't feel like doing that extra rep or putting on my gym clothes and going to the gym, I have an extra incentive to do it. I think for guys, we have what happens with us, a lot of us, not all of us, but I think what happens with a lot of guys is that whenever we talk about we need emotional support too, we go through things, it's always two. But that means it's in direct response to what you're going to. So it's not necessarily me saying, as a black man, I need to work through some things. It's more like black women are talking about their emotional traumas and all the harm that black man causes them. So let me try to hijack their conversation and then try to conjure up some sympathy from people that are saying, like, hey, we don't like for example, if we want to talk about obviously R. Kelly is in the news. He's always in the news, but we know what he's in the news for. And it's kind of like, yeah, the guy next door. It's like,
Wow, that's a loud car.
I know. And it's just like, dog, just, all right, hopefully he's pulling out and just leaving. And we're back. Thank you very much for sitting with us through that.
That was a commercial.
Yeah, through that annoying break right there. And he's talking now. It's like, stop talking. I don't care if you're a human being. Just stop. But yeah, I think that a lot of times with guys, like we don't talk with other guys about, oh, this happened to me when I was a kid or something like that. But then if it's like, if we're talking about, oh, because older guys do this to young girls or to younger women or something like that, then guys want to be like, well, it's not just y'all, it's us too. But it's like, have you dealt with that outside of this one moment? It's like all lives matter, Black Lives Matter. Like, do you really care?
It's the same.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and that's that intersectionality of it. Yeah, I could go on and on about that.
I got you.
Please don't get me
All
started.
right.
But yeah, I get it. But and then also looking at it, if you do pair, going to therapy with, a reason because your woman, your lady is pushing it, right, and you're just going.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Right.
Go, because what I've realized is you going. It might not have been your intrinsic motivation to go, but when you're there and you sit in that chair or couch or wherever you are and you talk to that therapist, it unlocks something in you and it feels so god doggone good.
Right.
So if that's the catalyst to get you in that seat, let it be.
Yeah.
But then something starts to unlock and releases that intrinsic motivation. So I suggest, I'm a heavy advocate for therapy. So yes, black men, go to therapy.
Okay. Well, I definitely I'm definitely going to get there one day. In the meantime, I got a couple self-help books that'll give me at least some language. And then when I'm ready to sit in front of a professional, oh, you mean post-traumatic stress disorder? Oh, yes, I was reading about that. Have you?
No.
Nah, I got you.
It just feels really good. It opens you up to a different side of who you are that you didn't even understand. I try it out, bro.
Yes, yeah. Somebody said it was like it's kind of like working some mental or emotional muscles that you didn't know you had.
Didn't even know they were there.
Right.
Now you sore because you're like, dang, there's a muscle there.
Right.
But it feels good. It feels good. It helps you. I mean, for me personally, it helps me navigate the world a whole lot different. Interact with people, whether it's in a romantic relationship or a friendship or a business relationship. I'm able to step back and kind of make better decisions, based off of what I know now.
Yeah. And I think that from reading about things like when people talk about the importance of meditation and breathing especially, like I was talking with the last person I interviewed, and we were talking about how, man, if you just take a couple really good long breaths and how and allow yourself to process something before you have an emotional outburst or reaction, then
It makes a world of difference.
yeah.